Hey friends, I hope that you are making the best out of our global grounding, and I wanted to jump in here and just share with you some different ways that when everything feels so out of control and when the only thing that we can control is our response, that is what we need to focus on. And so I'm actually going to do a little bit of teaching as well as a little bit of sharing some of my favorite resources on how to control the response of what is going on with our bodies. And what has been really interesting as we kind of journey into week 3-ish, 4-ish, depending on where you are at in your stay-at-home orders and what your state or city is doing. For us, we are venturing in on, at the time that I'm doing this video, I think it's midway through week 3. And when we are in a space where everything feels so out of control, there are certain things that we can do to really help our heart and help our subconscious and help our mind and our spirit when everything is completely different, right? Everything is I remember yesterday I was actually super sad last night, and I'm typically one that is really positive and really upbeat and sees the best in everything, and I started to really feel the true emotions and the true effects of the loss and the grief of what we're going through. I miss my family and I miss my friends and I miss going to the park with my son, and just really was allowing space last night to feel sad. And what's really interesting is that there's a lot of people right now that they're telling us how we should feel and not necessarily sharing that, gosh, that it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel lost, it's okay to be grieving what is going on. It's a healthy thing to do, because I think so many times in today's, especially in the digital world, we can, if we're feeling sad, we don't want to jump on our social media and reach out to our friends, and we're seeing, they're doing all these remodeling projects, and look, they're having all this great, all these awesome moms are doing this whatever thing with their kid, and I'm like, I'm just gonna put on another, watch Frozen 2 again, and right? So we can get in this really easy space of comparison. There's a lot of unknown. There is a lot of conspiracy theories that are out there. And so basically, the only thing that we can do is control ourselves and our response. And I'm a firm believer that in this human experience that we get to choose what that is, right? And so how I have been doing some of those different things is, and like I said, last night, I felt sad. I felt the loss of life as I knew it and friends as I knew it. And hi, baby. Play basketball? And we're trying to make the best of it, and I'm trying to keep my 3-year-old entertained, and while Chris is at the fire station 3 or 4 days a week, and we're staying at home, and we are, yes, we're taking walks, and yes, we're taking little bike rides and things like that, but for the most part, we're in our sweatpants at home. Yes, we're showering. Yes, we're getting ready. Yes, we're putting the clothes on. We're actually about to go take a little bike ride after this. But I wanted to share just a little bit about how we can control our response. Okay. So first of all, as human beings as spiritual beings in this human experience, it's okay to feel. And I think so many times in today's world, we have either been told that it's not safe to feel, that our feelings are not valid, that it's not, that I should be feeling a certain way. And so what that ends up doing is actually stuffing down feelings that should be coming out. Now, it's not to say that we allow feelings to run the show, but they are actually really great indicators. They're almost like little clues as to either what's going on subconsciously inside of us. Because here's the thing about our brain and our body is that we have that neurons that fire together wire together. And so anytime in your life that you have felt fear, or you have felt unsafe, or you have felt unsure, or felt uncertain, or felt that there's not going to be enough toilet paper or not enough whatever it is, those same neurons at any other time in your life have fired up those same feelings then in your body. Those are probably firing off, okay? So here's the thing, is that if that has been our normal conversation that has gone on in our head, what happens in our neuron, in our brain signals, is that those then become like this easy pathway for thoughts to go, okay? And so what we have to do is, if you have not worked on like mantras, or for you, depending on if you are a Christ follower, like Bible verses or affirmations, to rewire a different neural pathway in your brain that says, actually, I am supported. Everything is going to work out for my good. I have what it takes. I am, smart enough there. I have everything that I need. Love, like it's all being returned back to love. Like God is in control. Like where, my safe refuge, like all this different stuff that we can start to then talk about and remind ourselves of, and create new pathways with our neurons in our brain. So that's one thing that we can do. But what's really interesting about us as emotional beings is that if we haven't either created those pathways, or what's under pressure, when we are put under pressure and put under an emotional response, what will happen is that what's underneath will come out, okay? And this is actually one of the biggest gifts that we have been given. I'm a firm believer in that. It's not to discount that people are hurting, that people, that things are going on in our world that we don't know what's going on. But I really believe that this is a beautiful invitation for our healing. And like I said last night, I was feeling really, really sad. And I was feeling the loss of missing my friends and my family and life as I knew it, and going to sit on a restaurant for date night with my husband. And as I sat there, I kind of just I cried, and I let it come out, when in the past I would have just stuffed it and just tried to find something different and not allow that to come out. And so what I ended up doing in the past was, because I had tried to stuff it, and because I had tried to deny it, or because I had tried to just ignore that feeling, things got stuck emotionally, okay? And in our bodies, our emotions can get stuck in different areas of our subconscious. And then what happens is that because of our beliefs, it then creates our thoughts, and our thoughts create our words then create our habits, and our habits then create our actions, or our actions then create our habits, and our habits then create our destiny. And so if we are functioning from a core belief pattern that we are not enough, or that we don't have what it takes, or that I am not safe, what will end up happening is that we will then get into a kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. And what's really interesting about us as creators is that our words create worlds. And so there's this space of, okay, this is what I'm feeling, and I'm gonna let that come out. I'm gonna honor that, and guess what? I also then get to speak the opposite of that, right? So where you are feeling fear, that is a clue and an indicator that, guess what? That's okay to feel that. Journal about it, write it out, do some forgiveness work. If you need help with that, it's in my challenge. Go to wearemeantformore.com. I walk you through it in a 14-day video course. Now, let that stuff come up and out. Don't stuff it, don't ignore it. But then what happens is then that's a clue to then speak the opposite, right? Because our words create worlds. And here's what's really interesting. I'm going to show this picture to you. Okay? So we get the opportunity to, if you can see this, to choose what vibration, what vibration we come through. Because everything in our world is energy. Okay, this is quantum physics. I probably should have just been a quantum physicist because I love this stuff and I love biology. But, right, so science is able to measure that when we come from a space of love and peace and joy and all this different stuff, it's actually are these higher vibrations. When we come from a space of fear or anger or apathy or guilt or grief, it's these lower vibrations. And so the idea is, what's really interesting is that when it's the only thing that we can control is ourself and our response, and you can go Google that and go look up like how everything is energy. Right, so and this is a little too woo out there for you, imagine water for a second, right? In the periodic table of elements that you learned about back in the day, back in science class, and all the periodic table of elements of everything that our universe is made out of, right? There's the selenium and the hydrogen and the oxygen and the all of the other ones I don't remember. Sorry, Mr. Glick, that was my biology teacher. But so everything has a certain, right? So if you think about water, it is these, right, draw it on here. Okay, so we've got this H and then 2O, right? So water is H2O. It's this little molecule that is this combination of atoms that come together and create, right? So the hydrogen and the oxygen, they have positive and negative charges, which is why they stick together. Okay, so then as you combine water, or if you combine other elements, so like wood, if you combine whatever else, right? Everything has a certain combination of elements, which also means that everything has a certain combination of vibration. And so when we can only control our response, what's really, really helpful in a time where there is a lot of collective fear, there's a lot of collective unknown, there's a lot of collective instability, is that we can provide those things for ourselves, right? And if, depending on your beliefs, right, you can obviously like have your foundation set firm in your higher power, right? For me, it's God. I'm a Jesus follower. And having that stability in those things makes a big difference. And so when you can then get your body back to a space of, and it's just comes from allowing and recognizing, forgiving a thought of grief or forgiving the thought of sadness, or just allowing, you know what, like it's okay to feel this way, but I'm also not going to stay this way. And then it's up to us to then bring ourselves back up into a higher state. So, okay, what can I do that will bring about gratitude, right? Like who's a message that, who is someone that I could send a message to say that I'm grateful for them? Or what can I do that will bring in more love or peace? And so what's really interesting is that, again, for us as as spiritual beings in this human experience, what we also need to learn how to do is operate our body, right? So sometimes it's our mind, and then other times what we can do is we can kind of override our mind, because I know for me, sometimes I can just like, I'm in a negative tailspin and I can't seem to mantra my way out. I can't seem to like pray my way out. I can't seem to whatever it is. And so what's really interesting is that we can use, okay, yes, the mind work is amazing and the heart work is amazing, but guess what? We are mind, body, soul, and spirit. And so we can also now use our body to then affect our psychology and our physiology, right? Our physiology is our body. Our psychology is our mind. Is that your way at the door? There you go. Okay. And so if we can understand, okay, well, I don't always have to like think or pray or try and change my state into a state of love or into a state of gratitude or into a state of peace. What can I do in my body to then either get rid of this energy, to move this energy out, to just get my body moving, right? So you can use your body to move things, right? To move out emotions and energy. So if you're feeling really anxious, if you're feeling really unsafe or unstable, go take a walk in nature, right? You put your feet in the ground, put your feet in the grass, get grounded. Right? It's called earthing, and that's a really great way to bring in some stability if you're feeling super unstable. If you're feeling a lot of anxiousness, what you can do is move your body, right? So do some jumping jacks, get on, like we have a little trampoline right now for Judah, and we've just been like jumping on it, and we're gonna go take a walk outside. He's gonna ride his bike, I'll probably jog with the dog, just getting things moving. Because then what it does is, what can happen in our mind and in our body is that if we keep having something repeating, it will get stuck, okay? It's gonna get stuck there. And so if we can move, that will make a big difference. He's throwing a basketball on the wall. Wow, nice throw. Other things that we can do to affect our human body is obviously to help get rid of any blocks that might be happening, is that as we are raising our vibration, as we are sitting in prayer, sitting in meditation, sitting in gratitude, trying to remember who we are and why we're here, and trying to get in these different states of being with our human being. If we can't necessarily just like gusto our way out of that, which sometimes we can't, and that's okay. You can also do things that affect your body, again, like movement, like eating healthy, because that will help get rid of any blocks. I'm actually doing a cleanse right now, which it really helps with toxicity, which helps with any brain fog, which helps with just kind of move junk out of your body. So if you need a good recommendation for a cleanse, let me know. Because what that will do is, again, that's going to get rid of any blocks that kind of just affect our body as a spiritual being in this human experience, okay? You can also do things like here's one that we like to do, and this is it is a sound bar, and this one is at 528, I think it's megahertz. But sound has vibration, and 528 is actually the same frequency or vibration or wave through the air as love, okay? So this literally sends the vibration through the air, which sound waves, I'm sure you've seen it, right? On you can even just like YouTube or Google sound waves. But what this does is it sends the same frequency. Oh, hey, nice job, Bubba. And resonance of the love vibration through the air, which then can affect and change my body if I'm feeling the opposite of love or different than love.
Are those, is that a girl?
I'm doing a little talk on Facebook.
Oh.
So this is something that you can then do. You can drink a lot of water, which helps flush out toxins, eating healthy, green, go sit in the sunshine, go take some deep breaths. Another really great thing to do is, especially when we're getting stressed, is our breathing gets more shallow. And so if you're now conscious of that, which then if our breathing is more shallow, we're a lot more in fight or flight in our mind and in our body. Then to get back to a space of relax and digest where we're actually absorbing our nutrients, where our body is functioning a lot better, is to take deep breaths, right? So one of my favorite things to do is you take a big deep breath in for 5, you fill up your lungs all the way up and you hold it for 5, and then you blow out for 5, and then with no air in your lungs, you hold for 5, and then you take another big deep breath in for 5, hold.
Okay.
Nice job, buddy. You put the golf tee in the basketball. You're a sports family.
Get me down from
Yes,
here.
I sure can. So when the only thing that you can control is you and your response, you can't control the economy, you can't control what's going to be happening, you can't control, get off of social media, get out of the space of comparison or not enough, or looking at what everyone else is doing while you're sitting there in sweatpants and haven't showered. And I have to remind myself, okay, stop going down the rabbit holes of all the conspiracy theories, because you can only control your response. And so if you look at this as an invitation to say, okay, what is firing in me, what's coming up in me, and how can I allow space to feel that as well as to forgive that and to allow God to come in and heal those spaces, as well as how can I challenge myself. And it's not just the head work, right? It's not just the mindset, it's the heart work, it's the body work, right? We get a chance to actually come out of this as a better human being if we allow it. But if we sit there and like just mindlessly scroll and like binge all day on Netflix and just like drink or eat our way into oblivion to numb whatever is really going on, and if we don't face it and if we don't allow it to come out, then where the world is going, what I believe, where the world is going and where we are being invited into, that it won't work. We are being called to go higher. We are being called to being better as humans. We are being called to take care of our planet better. We are being called to honor our fellow human beings better. We are being called to something higher. And we might not necessarily understand or know what that looks like yet, but we will.
Mommy,
What, I love?
this goes into here, and we can use it and we can do it
Okay, nice.
at the golf course.
At the golf course. Yes, we can't wait to go golfing again, huh? So when the only thing that you can do is control your response, then feel free to watch this video again. Again, if you need just some forgiveness practices, even some meditations and mantras and things like that to help with your headspace as well as your heart space. My challenge helps with all of that. You can go to wearemeantformore.com. If you want to learn a little bit more about the vibration and how to be able to raise your vibration and keep your mind, body, and spirit healthy, it's all in my book, so feel free to grab a copy. But yeah, when you can only control your response, and it's not to say that you're not going to have the good days, that you're not going to have the bad days. Like I said, I had a really great ugly cry last night and like put on some music and was journaling and totally ugly crying because I miss my friends and I miss my family and I miss what my version of life was before this. But guess what? We get to do the work. We are invited to do the work. We are invited to allow God to take us to the places that maybe we have been too busy to go to before, that maybe we didn't have the time to go to before. We are invited. It's up to us. We still get to choose, right? We still get to choose how we come out of this. And again, it's not to discount that people are going through hard things, that people are getting sick, that people are dying, that there is some weird stuff going on in our world right now that we don't hardly even know the majority of it. But hey, Mr. Click is on. My biology teacher. Look, Mr. Click, I was just talking about vibration and the periodic table of elements. Thanks to you.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
You want to say bye? Okay, we're going to get this kid out of
Bye.
Paw Patrol clothes and go take a little
Bye.
bike ride, walk outside. We're gonna
Mama, somebody's out there.
Somebody's out there. Oh yeah. We're gonna go put our feet in the grass, get grounded, be in some sunshine, take some big deep breaths, move our bodies, be together, slow down. What's really interesting right now is that the rhythm of life is slow. And in our fast-paced world, that's actually just the rhythm of life of God, right? How many of us, I know for me,
Dodgers.
This
Not
I
saying
feel like God will always have to try and teach me patience, and because his rhythm is so much slower, and so it's like, okay, slow down to speed up, because I really do believe that what's going to come out of what we're in right now,
No.
if we choose, no, we won't. If we choose, it will be a gift. And maybe, and I'm sorry that if you did lose your job or business as usual is changing. I know it is for me. But what's really interesting is that when your foundation is in the right place, or when your trust is in the right place, it's a very different space to be in. So it's my invitation to you to use this as a time to control what you can control, which is this, and it's your response, and what is coming out of your heart, what is going into your mind and into your eyes, into your subconscious. Because what happens right now is that when things get into our subconscious, it comes because of an emotional experience. And so what are you filling your mind with right now, right? Because emotions are heightened. There are a lot of things that are heightened right now. And what will get stuck in our subconscious, which runs 80 to 90% of our body and of our brain and of our mind, if we can understand that we get a choice, we can understand that that the power that we have is to control what goes in our bodies, in our minds, to use what comes out as a clue for healing, for how we respond to others, how we come out of this. We get a choice, right? Are you gonna come out of this with a better marriage or not? You know, I know Chris and I, we want to come out of it with a better marriage. We're reading, there's this really great book, it's called How We Love, and there's a workbook and some really great emotional connection and healing things in that book. You know, we're slowing down, we're reading more, we are cuddling more, because providing that comfort for each other and that safe space to land is important. You know, we are getting in nature more. As I even planted tomatoes. I even planted tomatoes. And I'm normally not the gardener at all. And we're playing a lot more, and we're being goofy a lot more. And we're blowing up balloons, and we are painting and coloring and singing, and I brought out my keyboard to learn how to play piano. Am I doing all that stuff? No, sometimes. Sometimes no, sometimes I'm binging on Netflix. But we still get a choice on, okay, in this space where we get the invitation, we get the choice for how we respond, for the only thing that we can control, and how we come out of this. That is where our power lies, and that is where things are going to get separated, and we're going to see that, okay? So you still get a choice. If you need resources, let me know. There's a lot of great podcasts out there. There's a lot of great books. You can just, write affirmations on a sticky note and put it on your mirror. You can read more. You can do some of the forgiveness work. You can cuddle your babies more. Anything that you can do to control your response and to be in a space of love and peace and joy. And again, if you are feeling that fear, guess what? That is an indicator to not only acknowledge, not ignore, not stuff that thought, but to say, okay, how can I, because again, our words create worlds, so how can I speak? All right, which is the opposite of fear is love. Like, what can I do to put more love into the world? Who can I love better? How can I feel love more? Okay? So the only thing you can control is your response. And what's underneath is going to come out. So if you see it as a beautiful invitation for your greatest healing, for your greatest work, and for your greatest launching pad to move forward from here, you get to choose, my friend. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. All things are going to work out for good.
Small, medium, big.
You have what it takes.
Small,
you are
medium,
enough.
big.
I just feel like I'm supposed to
Small, medium,
read
big.
a little bit here. This is towards the end of... Sorry, Audrey. All right. So this is towards the end of my book here, but I talked about writing a letter to yourself and journaling as if, and saying, okay, well, how do I want my life journal about it, and I'm going to sit with it, and I'm going to imagine it, and I'm going to get it into my spirit. It says, so after you write those letters to yourself, seal them and write a date on them. Okay, and I've done this before, and it's really amazing how it works, actually. So another beautiful thing is that you are now aware. You have grown in your consciousness of what life can become, who you desire to grow into, and how you choose to move towards it. You've officially been commissioned. You've been chosen, anointed, called. You now know some tools and resources to get you started and to use along the way. You now have a tribe and coach that believes in you, the potential that is inside of you just waiting for you to be ignited. So what if you changed your internal monologue? What if you spoke truth and love to that beautiful heart of yours? What if you were kind to yourself and honored the mind, body, and spirit you have been divinely given? What if you loved yourself enough for everyone? What if you believed in the worth and the value that you bring to those around you? Because beautiful one, you cannot play small, you cannot stay dim, regardless of what anyone else might say. Regardless of the chattering voices within you might tell you, the world needs you, we need you, I need you. The lives of those you will impact need you, all of you, in all your brilliance, beauty, bravery, power, and authentic vulnerability. Yes, you, the entrepreneur who feels alone and doesn't know what next steps to take. The exhausted mom who's been at home raising babies, who wants to get back to work but isn't sure if she can actually enter the workforce again. The one that's 50 pounds overweight and needs to do something drastic to get your health back on track. The one who doesn't trust your inner wisdom, listens to everyone else, and in the end you wish you could have listened to your own intuition. The dreamer who believes you are meant for more, but you keep hiding and not sharing your message with others. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you what to do. Stop waiting for someone else to do it for you. Stop looking to something else. You have the power inside of you. Darling, get up, rise up, stand up. Brush off the dirt from yesterday. Get over it, get on with it. You can do hard things. You have done hard things. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for, and despite the mistakes you have made, you have also gotten a lot right. We need your strength, your light, your beauty, your love, and your story. Your voice has value, so speak without holding back. You are a piece to this puzzle we call life, and it wouldn't be complete without you. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are enough, and you have what it takes. Your story matters. What you have walked through will not go to waste. It happened and will continue to happen for you. It will all be worked out for your good, because the plans for your life are meant for good. If it's not good, it's not the end. You must shine. It's up to you now, beautiful one. Trust that you haven't wasted or lost any time, and now has always been the perfect time for you to show up and shine. You are a daughter, friend, sister, mother, a child, and a queen all at the same time. Claim your beauty, your power, your light, your purpose, and the sacred lessons that your story holds, wholeheartedly, fully, and unapologetically. Abundance and freedom is your birthright. Joy is yours to claim, and love is yours to freely receive. Step out in faith, love big, because it is worth the risk. Do not hold back any part of the truth of who you authentically are, and don't ever apologize for your radiance. Enjoy the journey and trust that it is all happening for you. Learn the lessons, embrace the pressure, trust the divine discontentment. Know that you are supported and loved by a power far greater than you could ever comprehend. Follow your heart, find your tribe, welcome others home with loving arms, and show them what it looks like to live courageously, fiercely, and full of grace. Judah, what are you doing? Be unapologetic. Fail, pivot, do a U-turn, align, arise, shine. Inspire, ignite the flame in others to shine as well. Choose to see the best in them and in yourself. Celebrate the wins as if they are your own. Be generous, creative, joyful, bold, courageous, filled with hope, and radiate. Forgive, let go, have fun, have lots of dance parties, make big entrances, and be you. The one that you were created to be, not who anyone else thinks that you should be. Remember who you are, whose you are, and why you are here. You are not alone, and you never have been. You are here for such a time as this. for a special and divine purpose, on purpose, and the time is now. Let's go, friend. We have work to do, and you've got this. Welcome home. We've been waiting for you. Okay, you have officially been commissioned. If you want to read a little bit more about my story and a little bit more about how to raise your vibration and how to control your response and how to find the power from your message and to find your voice, it's all in there. Grab a copy of it. But you can only control your response. All right, my friends. Stay safe. Honor your mind, body, and spirit. Be gentle with yourself. We've got this. We're going to come out stronger and better, shining brighter than ever before. It might be a little messy in the middle. It usually is. But enjoy the process, because it is all a part of this human experience that we are in and we have signed up for. All right, friends. Have a good day.